Hi, it's Samuel Larsen here, and what I wanted to talk about was commitment and consistency. And this is the idea that people always want to be consistent with their actions and values. So we have a little bit of an inherent need to be consistent to ourselves and to others when it comes to our behavior. Now, you can use this to improve your sales in pretty sneaky ways, and I'm going to share 5 of my favorite ways to improve your e-commerce sales using commitment and consistency principles. Now, this basically states that once we have committed to something or someone, we have more of a likelihood to go through and deliver on that commitment compared to if we hadn't made even a slightest effort towards it. So this is especially powerful for older people and people from more individual countries, because it is largely based on identity and kind of like keeping your word and also kind of like living into your identity. So it's a combination of both. And when it comes to older people from individual countries, this is the most powerful thing that they basically have. So they have very strong identities and strong values. So you can use these in your marketing. Now, something like this, it works both on macro level, but also on micro level. So on micro levels, once people actually start doing something, they feel like they should finish it. And an example for this would be when we get people to take small actions towards a preferable outcome. So in e-commerce, for example, or websites, we can build a so-called yes ladder. So this would be, for example, a multi-step web form or a multi-step checkout, where you ask for a little bit of commitment beforehand, and then you kind of like increase it. Now, this is, for example, why in the checkout we want to ask the name before we ask for their credit card number. So very few people actually, statistically, drop out on the last page of the checkout, because they have already gone through all of these phases. They have committed their time, but also that would be very inconsistent with the previous behavior. And this is something that is really benefits from this principle. Now, there is these little actions, and they can be really powerful. But there's also bigger actions. So you want to make people more like identify with your store, both internally but also externally. So if somebody likes you on Facebook, for example, it not only communicates to their brain that I like the brand, but it also tells them a story. So there will be a kind of a circle going in their head. So I am behaving this way, so it must be true. Okay, so I liked this brand, so I must really like it. And this action of just clicking like will strengthen their subconscious identity as a person who supports what you do. And this can be so powerful that you can often incentivize this. And since it's working on subconscious level, people are not going to pick up on this. And it's kind of like, you could call it a safe manipulation to do, so to say. Now, there's also purchase sharing. So I would say that's the third principle. So this is more of a public thing. If somebody likes you on Facebook, like that's still quite a private thing. Not many people are going to see that. But then if they actually go ahead and share their purchase to all of their friends, that's about as public as you could get. And this is something that can be really worth incentivizing it. because you are essentially gaining two benefits. You are gaining the benefit of this person committing to you more and identifying with your products more, but also him taking a public stance for your product and getting all of these friends to see essentially an ad, but not just any kind of ad, an ad that doesn't look like an ad that people actually are open to looking at and seeing and receiving. Now, there is little apps that you can do to run something like this. So often 10% off your next purchase can be a great way to get people to share more. All right, then fourthly, I would say you can use commitment-based language when you follow up. So let's say a person drops their cart. So instead of saying that you have items in your cart, why not say you selected these items for your cart? Now, if you use this kind of like selected language, it is something that like you committed to this. This was your choice. So you are not acting very consistent here. Something's wrong. And it's basically saying like this is what you wanted, but now you don't want it anymore. So very little things, but once you run this kind of abandoned cart sentence for like thousands of people, it's going to make a big difference. And it's an easy change. So why not go ahead and do it? Okay. Then lastly, I would say, and this is the biggest one, is utilizing so-called foot in the door technique, also known as the tripwire. And this is where we sell something that is a relatively cheap offer, and it's a good offer. So the profit margins, for example, would be almost close to zero, sometimes even negative, because we have value later in the funnel when the customer has purchased, and we can remarket to them. Now, this is way more powerful than just having a customer in the email list, because this customer made a statement that they trusted their credit card information. Now they're already a buyer, and buying more would be actually a pretty consistent behavior. It wouldn't be anything abnormal, right? It wouldn't be a risky thing. So you can get a smaller sale, even if it's a break-even sale, and get a lot of money in the back end. So it's something you definitely want to consider. Maybe you will have a great offer for your list. You can drive people to a landing page, for example, and just sell something that is a great general offer for that. I've seen baby carriers for moms and these kind of things that you can target for a very specific audience. And it's a general product that a lot of people would want. And then you can just sell a lot of those and get a lot of customers that way. All right, so that was the 5 principles or 5 tactics that you can use, commitment and consistency principles in your e-commerce store. So use it with care and be ethical about it. It's a very powerful manipulation tactic, so don't use it for evil. I hope no evil people are watching these videos. But thank you anyway, and make sure to subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you on the next one.